Hello, beautiful people, tribe of many, many colors. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. I hope you're taking care of yourself as much as you can. I hope you've been sleeping well as much as you can. Hope you've been eating good as much as you can. Hope you've been staying active as much as you can. Let's get a little esoteric today, okay? Let's bring in a little bit of the energies and we're going to lift the veil on this very normal world and get a little supernatural and magical, okay? Let's see what comes in. All right, let's get started. Okay, just remember, if you don't see me and I'm gone for a while, I'm working on myself. I'm doing my self-care. I'm taking care of my family. I'm integrating the energy and I'm understanding it, processing it so I can sit here and talk to you from a space of knowing. Okay? So let's get into what my guides have bring forth for me to know that I'm going to share with you. The sun. Mm, mm, mm. The sun is awake. That sun energy is big, it's strong. And the thing with the sun is it brings in light, it brings in consciousness, it brings in awareness, right? And it's being very active. It's exploding this light of information out and it affects all of us. It affects every living thing on the planet. Okay? When you think of nature, don't ever think of yourself outside of nature. Don't think of yourself separate from nature. Nature doesn't exist without you. You are a part of this entire process. We're in this bubbled world together, sharing in the same air, the same vibration that's available. And we exchange energy with nature and help to make this planet everything that it is. So just as a baseline, let's always remember that we're not separate from nature. Okay? So when the sun gets really, really active, it affects every living thing on the planet. And the thing with the amount of energy and amount of information that the sun is putting out into the cosmos is that it's I want you to imagine it being almost like a song, right? So we might see a burst of light from the sun, but it's also a frequency, which is also notes, which is also a song. So if you could tap in to hear the true sound of nature, you would be hearing songs all over the place, right? The animals would be singing, the trees would be singing, the grass would be singing, the flowers would be singing. Everything carries a frequency, which is a song, and the sun is singing. And when it does that, it wants everything to get in harmony, in alignment with it. So when it has these solar flares and these bursts of energy, it can resonate in such a strong way that it shifts your resonance, right? It's like tuning forks. You hit one tuning fork and all the other tuning forks start vibrating at the same frequency. The sun is like a huge tuning fork. And when it gets struck, every living thing that's influenced by the sun is being encouraged to wake up and get on the same frequency. The thing with that is it can stir and agitate and trigger the shake off of the old energy until you get into frequency with the new energy. So you might be having a lot of crisis occur in your life, health problems, unpleasant thoughts, old memories come back up, everything that needs to be healed, everything that was suppressed, everything that was forgotten in a kind of a dark corner of your mind. Everything that you've ever had as a programming that's not in alignment with who you really are, all of that's going to get shaken off by the sun. And as it's shaking you vibrationally to get you in resonance with the high frequency, if you are not ready to let go of those things, it's going to feel very triggering for you in these next coming months. So you have to be willing, get into the art of letting go. If you're someone who struggles with letting things go, right? And you know if this is you, okay? You don't need anybody to tell you this. You know if you're that person that you just can't let something go. You can't let go of the hurt. You can't let go of the betrayal. You can't let go of the deceit. You can't let go of feeling wronged. You can't let go of being rejected. You can't let go of your past, your story, your pain, right? If you're that person and you hold on to these things, you're going to have to become fluid in the art of letting go, because this sun is going to push you to do it. It's going to push you to do it. And what it looks like when people don't want to let go of an old frequency, an old pattern, or old resonance, is it's going to look like they're going mad, right? You're going to see a lot of people look like they're losing their shit. They're losing their minds, because as the sun is pushing you to get into resonance with the frequency, you're going to have to be okay with letting go. Letting go of the past, letting go of the hurt, letting go of the narratives that don't align with who you really are. We've shielded ourselves with a lot of stories. There's a lot of things we've told ourselves. There's a lot of hurt and pain and trauma collectively. Either we've experienced it personally, or we are just carrying the weight of the collective with all of this. We have to help to release those knots of energy, to free ourselves, to free our minds, so that we can see ourselves as we truly are. This is not us. When you look in the mirror and you're looking at yourself, that doesn't even begin to describe who you are. That's the tip of the iceberg. There's so much of you that's beneath the surface, right? The majority of who you are is beneath the surface of what you see. That's why it's so important to know yourself, because if all you think you are is what you see in the mirror, then you're operating from a very limited perspective, because you can't see yourself as bigger or brighter or more advanced or more beautiful or more compassionate or more loving. You can't see yourself as anything more than just the human being, shape, form, figure. Yet you're more than that, way more than that, and a lot more magical and a lot more mystical and surreal and out of this world. But that's within, that's under the surface, right? So that's the you that is trying to be seen. But in order for that big, massive part of you to be seen and understood, we have to let go of the small narratives we've been holding on to about who we are. We're more, much more. And as the sun activates and says, get in alignment with who you are, well, now we're going to have to let go of the stories that we've told ourselves that have made us comfortable with playing it small. You're everything but small. Okay, that's a false narrative. That's a false illusion. Your intelligence is beyond just schooling. So if you're thinking, I'm not smart enough, or I can't read, or I don't understand these deep concepts or philosophies or anything of that nature, anything that you have within you that says you are anything less than, it's an illusion. Because intelligence and intellect existed before schools did, right? Before the first book was written, before the first school was built, when there was no school at all, there was still intelligence. So intelligence is not only attached to school. So if you're one of those people that think, I don't have all these letters behind my name, I'm not, holding these degrees, or I'm not affiliated with these institutions, just realize that intelligence is far beyond that. And it's not just about looking at a book, going to these places, getting these letters behind your name. It's what you embody that creates intelligence, not what you know. It's what you practice that creates intelligence. It's not what you know. I can surround myself in a space with 1,000 books. And if I've read all of them and applied none of the knowledge, I'm just someone that's sitting in the midst of 1,000 books. Or I can read one of those books, understand the concept, embody the lesson fully, and I'm more intelligent than the person that didn't apply anything. Intelligence is beyond learning, and intelligence is knowing, it's doing, it's understanding. Okay? It's aligning. It's understanding how to survive in your world. It's understanding your world. So it's time for us to become intelligent about self, not intelligent about the lessons somebody else has taught us and say we should know this and we should know this. 100%, hands down, the wisest and most intelligent you will be is when you know yourself. That's real wisdom. That's real intelligence. Because once you know self, there's no situation you come across that you don't know how to handle, that you don't have an idea for, that you don't have a creative expression about. Everything that now comes to you can be resolved with ease when you know yourself. It's when we don't know ourselves, when we find ourselves in these situations, that we kind of feel stuck, right? If you're stuck in a situation, it's just an opportunity for you to understand something about yourself as you go through the experience. It's not about the details of the experience. So if you're having trouble paying your bills, if you're having trouble getting a project off the ground, being more successful, finding a good job, figuring out where to live, raising your kids, whatever your problem is, that's the details of it. The most important thing you can do in that situation is to understand yourself as you go through it, because that's the lesson. That's the wisdom. That's what you pass on as legacy to your friends, to your family, to your children, to yourself. That's true intelligence. And all of that is coming in with the sun's energy, because the sun is trying to shine light on that place you didn't even know you existed in, that you were capable of being, that you were capable of understanding. So just know that as you go through the struggle of it all, as it seems like a struggle, the struggle there is to either let go of something that no longer serves you and allow yourself to see how you move through the situation. Always keep the observer's eye on yourself as much as possible, so you can see how you're maneuvering and growing and shifting and changing and evolving through this. That's the only thing you bring with you once the experience is over, is the memory. You're encoding that into your own cells and DNA, the memory of how to traverse this earth, this current earth circumstance. You hold on to the memory of that, and anything that you create has the energy of that in it. And that is a collective sharing. Once you encode yourself with a memory of how to overcome something, of how to traverse something, of how to integrate something, of how to heal something, that's locked into your DNA, and DNA is shared on a conscious level by everyone. Your DNA is not just inside your body. Your DNA is in your energetic field, right? It's on your skin, it's in your hair, and it extends beyond your physical body is also energetic. Your DNA is also energetic. And it creates this egg-like shield around you that's multicolored, almost like rainbow smoky mist. Okay? And as you walk and come into the field of other people, your DNA can enhance someone else. It can lift someone else up. So what you're able to create from your DNA is not just a physical child. You can walk into a room with your DNA fully expanded and you can wake people up simply by your presence, simply by your speaking, simply by your look, your connection through the eyes. Your DNA is beyond your physical, right? And as you come into the understanding and awareness of who you are, on a grander scale, you know how to work with that DNA. It's not just stagnant, it's not just there. It's something you can interact with. It's something you can build on. It's something you can expand. Right? So there's more to you. There's more magic to you than you think. And the sun is here to reveal that, but in a loving way. It's not just the energy of the sun carrying this kind of masculine aspect of just knowing and seeking and pushing forward and active. It's also the, how do I say it? It's being tempered by the moon, by Venus. Okay? That very fast charging masculine energy is being tempered and directed and focused with the feminine energy. Imagine the masculine energy being like this huge beam, right? This huge beam of light that can create, destroy, whatever. The feminine energy is that focused, encasing, directive force that says, okay, I'm going to take all of this and I'm going to focus it and I'm going to direct it in a way that creates balance and perfection towards and throughout all things. So that's what the feminine energy does. That's the nurturing side of the feminine energy, is to encapsulate that massive energy that is the soul, that is us, and give it form, give it shape, give it focus, give it purpose. Okay? So there's a lot going on astrologically. There's a lot going on with the alignments, and all of that stuff affects us. It affects you. It affects your pets. It affects your kids. And the best thing you can do right now is do all that you can to stay in balance, to stay in harmony, and get good at letting go. However it is you have to research and study yourself to understand how you can best let go. Now is the time to do that, so that you don't run into a block when this energy is trying to bring you into your higher self. You don't face too much of a resistance. That's going to feel like pain. It's going to feel like madness. It's going to feel like deep hurt. Let go. Allow your heart to expand. A big part of what can also affect how well you manage the energies is how much sleep you're getting. So my guides are telling me to speak on this a little bit. If you're having trouble sleeping, try changing the position in which you sleep. So I tend to sleep head to the east, feet to the west. Sometimes during this time, it's coming on to the springtime, I reverse it, where my head is to the west and my foot's to the east. The thing is, that's all a part of alignment, right? So how you align with the cosmos is also a big part of alignment. So in your bedroom, wherever you sleep, if you're having trouble sleeping, try changing your position, facing either east, west, north or south, however you prefer, however you want to try, to see if that can change and help you to fall into a more comfortable sleep. Because you are, even the positioning of your head in a directional sense can affect how you sleep. So try a different position. Move the bed around, move the furniture around, alternate where your bed is and where your dresser is and where your chairs are. Change it up a little bit and change the way the energy flows through the room. All right, get your little feng shui on. and let the energy circulate differently through your space, and see if that doesn't change the way it affects your mood and your behavior. All right, so that's the energy I'm getting in terms of messages. I hope it was helpful. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep practicing all the things that bring you joy. Listen to your music. Take your baths. Another thing is we might have to start, for the people who are very much in tune with their elemental force. So that is your air, your fire, your earth, your ether. What you want to start doing is surrounding yourself with your elements, whatever you are drawn to. Like, for example, if you're ever going on a hike and a walk and you see a rock or a stick and you're just walking along, you're like, oh, that's a unique shape. Or it just seems like it just called to you, like you just happened to look at it. Sometimes that's nature saying, hey, pick this up. There's energy in this. Bring it with you. Okay? There are very unique things that nature is going to set into your path that's going to help you to remember to interact with nature. So don't be afraid to bring something of nature into your home. If it's something that attracts you or stands out to you or is unique to you, and for some reason you feel drawn to it, don't be afraid to bring it into your space. If you're guided to, always check in with your own guidance here. But what it can do is you have to remember rocks, sticks, flowers, plants, they are getting sometimes 24/7 exposure to the sun. Okay, and they have the sun energy within them because everything is alive. Everything has energy. And a lot of things out there, especially rocks and stones, they store energy, right? That's why we like to wear our gems. They're gems and stones, but they are able to store a tremendous amount of energy, okay? And sometimes this gem, okay, no matter what it is, be it an emerald or, whatever, quartz, it stores energy, but it doesn't make it any better than a regular rock that's outside. All stones store energy. All stones store memory. Think of stones on the planet almost like if the planet was a person, the stones would be the bones, right? And within the bones, there's a whole lot of memory. There's a whole lot of DNA, okay? There's a whole lot of repair tissue stored in bones. So the stones on Earth would be the bones of the Earth if the Earth was a human being. So sometimes when you come across a stone or rock, some of you might like the river rocks, the really smooth ones. You're just drawn to it for a reason. Sometimes you might see a unique pattern on a stone or a rock. If it draws your eye, it's for a reason. And sometimes that thing wants to come home with you to put the energy and the memory it has in your space. You might not always keep it. You might just have it for a while. You might hold it while you walk and throw it away. Whatever you do, if you're drawn to it, it's for a reason. Okay? So that's all the information that's coming through. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your patience. I appreciate your love. I am thankful for you, beautiful, beautiful souls, for getting up every morning, doing your work, being of service to others, taking care of yourself first, because you can't take care of anybody else if you don't take care of yourself first. I love you. I love you. I love you. Have a good day. Bye.